Hey everybody, it's your girl Mrs. Garcia coming back with another video. Today I am going to do a quick seafood boil. I'll be using snow crab, corn, eggs, but first I'm going to show you how I make my Cajun butter dipping sauce. You want to start off with natural unsalted butter. This is the brand that I use. I have half of white large onion. I have a tablespoon and a half of minced garlic, and then I also have a tablespoon and a half of chopped ginger. I have all my seasoning in the bowl, and I will show you guys all the seasonings that I put. So let's get started. I have my saucepan on a medium heat. We're gonna start off by melting our butter. I am making a lot because I like to save it. That way I can have it for the next time. And the longer it sits, the better it tastes. So we're gonna start off first by melting our butter. And I am gonna use 4 blocks of the butter. All the seasonings that I do use, and this one, because I am making a large one, I use a tablespoon and a half of each. If you're just making some for you, a teaspoon of each would do just fine. But if you want to make a lot, use the same amounts that I've used, and also the 4 sticks of butter. So we're just gonna let that melt. We want our butter to boil a little, like give a good little simmer, before we add in our onions, garlic, and ginger. Okay, our butter is boiling now. I'm going to add our butter, garlic, and ginger so we can saute it. And you want this to saute in the butter for around 5 minutes. Just give it a quick stir. Now this Cajun butter is spicy. Again, if you don't like spicy, you don't have to use the cayenne, and you don't have to use the red chili flakes. But if you like spicy like me, you're gonna need some. So I'm gonna continue to let these saute in the butter, let the butter boil before we add our seasoning. And we are also going to add water. You want your onions to be translucent. Well, that's how I like them in my Cajun butter. I'm not really an onion person, but I will eat them if they're translucent. Okay, now we're going to add our seasonings to the butter. We're going to give that a stir. And also to this, I'm going to add about a half a cup of water. You can use about a half a cup of chicken stock if you would like. That brings more flavor to it. The water doesn't really add or take away from the flavor. I just like to use the water. Okay, Give this one more stir. Now we're just gonna let this simmer for like 15 minutes until it thickens up. Then your Cajun butter dipping sauce for your seafood is done. Okay, so for a seafood boil, please bring your water up to a really good boil. But before it does start boiling, I am going to add some Cajun seasoning to the water. I'm also going to add a teaspoon of salt. I was going to add potatoes to this, but I decided to make rice instead. So I'm going to have snow crab legs. I have 3 pounds of those. I also have corn on the cob and eggs. So this is what I'll be putting in my boil. I'm just going to let this boil a little bit more before I add in the eggs and corn. You want to add in your crab last because it cooks quickly, just like shrimp. So I am going to add in my eggs. I'm going to let those cook for about 6 minutes, and then I'll add in my corn. I'm going to add in my corn. And now we are going to add our crab legs.
What's your plan? Who's probably part?
Now we're just gonna let these boil for 8 minutes, and then our boil is done.